All right, questions?
Well, Hurst, obviously, offensively, a lot of drop balls, a lot of mistakes tonight. What did you see offensively? Did you see it coming at all?
Um, no, not as much. Yeah, didn't expect the amount of drop balls that we had, and we had a couple that were tipped for picks, and that's something we've seen that tip balls usually are pick balls, and on the offensive side, the opportunities in the red zone, we didn't take advantage of that. We were down there to get points, whether it was a field goal or two drives, and um, didn't finish with touchdowns in those situations there. I mean, really, it comes down to that. And we put ourselves in position. I think we, statistically, yards wise, and all that shows up is probably move the ball, but didn't do it in the key situations. And that's really the ultimate reason why I don't think we won the football game. I thought the defense played well. They hit us on a few plays. They're going to make some plays, but we needed to keep ourselves on the offensive side in position, and we just didn't do that to score points and to stay ahead in the game. We didn't do it.
All that being said, at the end there, you guys did have a chance, and curious if you could break down the play and what you saw, and
Yeah,
it almost worked.
I don't know. I can't break it down right now without watching it. It's a play like we've seen in a few games this year in college football that you're giving your last effort, whatever it takes. And Spurbeck did a great job. I thought Austin Cottrell did everything he could. The guy made a play. I mean, you're hoping that you can get one less guy down there, and he made the play. And it's a credit to New Mexico. They played well. They won the game. They did make plays in the game, but as far as Austin's effort and how we got kind of into that situation on that particular play, I mean those guys did a great job. But ultimately, the goal is to not be in that situation. And so you go back to the beginning of the game and throughout the first quarter and first half, we probably shouldn't put ourselves in that position, but we did. We did have a chance, and we're going to play to the end. We're always going to do that. We're going to fight. We just didn't have enough yardage or time, maybe even, to put ourselves in a chance to tie the game up and go into overtime.
Coming off a bye, you guys had 2 weeks. How do you feel like those 2 weeks of preparation went? How did your practices go? Did you feel like the team was as prepared as they needed to be for this?
Well, no, not after the game. I thought leading up to the game, yes. I thought the coaches did a great job with their preparation. I thought the players prepared. Uh, I don't think you never know until you go play the game. And that's one of the things. That's bye weeks are needed, but at the same time, you're also in a rhythm. So that's one of the things as well. And you never know until you go out there and play. So with that and the result, no, I don't think that there's probably things in there that we didn't do well enough to go win the game. Bottom line is, we have to be better. And if it includes that portion of what we did practice-wise and all that, then we've got to be better than what we were in the game. And we've got to execute better. It's got to show up on game time, and it didn't show up tonight.
Back to the end of the game for a second. First of all, did you call the first one knowing you were going to call them both because it might set up the other one? And second, is there any sort of a name to that play?
Yeah.
And third, it looked like Austin was maybe looking for a pitch guy at one point. Is there an option for him to pitch that?
No, I mean, yes, there is. There's a variety of options on that play because it's your last effort. Yeah, we kind of set it up, based off what we thought we'd get there for the 1 second play at the end. And, it just didn't go our way, bottom line.
I think Brett ended up with 72 pass attempts, 503 yards, I think it was. Few overthrows here and there, some deflected interceptions. How did you feel he played tonight?
Yeah, I really, statistically, I care about the win, ultimately. We didn't play well enough to win the game. And, there's some opportunities. I don't know exactly why I just know we didn't hit some of the throws, or we didn't catch some of the throws. Whatever it was, it's still not good enough to win the game. And, you know, our guys, in a loss, guys still play well. Guys still give effort. Guys still go out there and they can put up numbers, you know, that are impressive. But that's not what this is about. And I told the team the same thing, because we do have guys that play well. And we do have guys that go out there and do very good things, even in a loss. But it's a team sport. We're all accountable, coaches, players, everybody in that locker room, and we didn't win. And so, you know, it wasn't good enough from that standpoint with the rest of us, and we've got to find ways to improve.
Even beyond the numbers that Spurbeck put up tonight, just his effort in general, because, I mean, he put up a season's worth of stats tonight, but just the consistency that he also tried to provide, and I think, you know, that did present a few drops from the receivers.
Yeah, well, he played well. Yeah, he did. He played well. He made plays. I'm not sure how many catches, and I don't know what he had statistically, but I know he played well. And Thomas does that, and he gives great effort. He's pretty clutch, you know, in the majority of the situations that he's in when he has an opportunity to make a play or the ball's where he can get it. And, you know, he's been that way all year long. I mean, that's, you know, we've had, you know, Jake Rowe showed up tonight, you know, on a big play, and he's been that way also. So like I said, there are guys that play well, that have prepared well, but as a team, you know, they're going to say the same thing. It still wasn't, you know, what we expected when we went out there from the offensive standpoint. So it's great for those guys, and, you know, we're proud of the effort they give and the execution that they had on the field. But we still got to do it together. We still got to have 11 guys doing that more often than what we did tonight.
Aside from the drops and the mental miscues, it just seems like you guys just haven't had a lot of breaks go your way this year, and the ball bounces funny directions, and a couple times tonight it didn't bounce your way. How frustrating does that get for you guys on the sideline when they fumble right there and it bounces right back to them and stuff like that, and it builds up? Does that wear on you guys?
I don't know if it wears. I mean, you obviously want an opportunity to get at it. You know, yeah, there were some things that didn't go our way. I'm not going to get into a replay rant like we had last year in this game, but there's definitely things that, you know, you can go back and look at from that standpoint. And we're had opportunities to create turnovers. You know, if the ball does bounce a little bit differently, maybe we get it. Maybe that changes the outcome of the game. But again, you know, we're looking for those. We're not always counting on them. And we're trying to go out there and win the game, assuming that the other team plays their very best. That means we have to do that. And we're not going to just count on all those breaks. But you hope in a game like this that you have a few go your way so you can get the momentum back. That's the key. And, you know, when the ball is on the ground, it bounces back up to them. You know, if you do get it, that's a momentum changer. And then now, you know, you're putting yourself in a position to hopefully gain that momentum and then go down and score. And, you know, it didn't go that way. And some of it went their way. Like I said, the tip balls, those guys were around it and they got them. Doesn't always happen that way, but they made plays.
There was a 4th and 2, something like that, with about 9 minutes left in the game, and you guys ended up throwing deep out the back of the end zone. I'm wondering what you guys were trying to get done there, and then also any update on Shane, who went out in the first half.
I don't have an update on Shane. I don't exactly know, you know, where he came back out there, you know, on the sideline and all that. Obviously couldn't go back into the game, so I don't know, you know, what his status is exactly. Yeah, 4th and 2. Probably had some other throws that we could have hit, you know, in that situation. But the thought behind that was to stay aggressive. You know, we had faked a punt. We got it. And, you know, when you've got to go, I think we're down by 2 scores there. You know, it's time to – you got to make a decision that you're going to go play to win. And, you know, I felt like that was the time to make that decision to go play to win. Thought we had a good concept. Thought we were doing some good things there. And we just we chose that, and we didn't get it. And so probably had some other opportunities to get that first down, and we didn't.
Coach, you know, you briefly talked about the replay, but, you know, that was something that obviously the crowd, you know, was pretty livid about early in the game. Did the ref give you any kind of clarification on what we see, because it seemed on the Jumbotron, something fairly definitive.
Yeah, he just told me they had all the angles that that were provided, and what I saw, and I think what everybody saw, it looked clear that he had stepped out of bounds. Now, that's all I can see on the jumbotron. I had one view. They had several, however many views they have, and that's their call in that situation there. When they did replay it, it looked to me like that play was out of bounds at that point, wherever he stepped out, but it looked like he had stepped out, and they didn't see it that way. So, it's easier probably if they hadn't shown it, because you don't know. I mean, I didn't see his foot on the sideline, but you got a chance to see it, and at least from that view, it looked like he did.
I know it's not a pleasant thing to think about, but is this one of the worst feelings that you've had after a game, especially losing at home? And where does this rank with you on? I know you probably don't rank losses, but describe this type of feeling that you have right now?
Yeah, disappointed for our players, disappointed for our fans, disappointed for our coaches. We lost a game. We still have a lot to keep playing for, and that's the thing. I mean, everybody wants to throw things out, and all of a sudden we're looking towards next season now, and we're not. We got to get better. I'm looking forward to tomorrow, to be honest with you, that we can get better as a team, we can get better as a staff. I mean, that's our mentality. I guess we think completely different than everybody else. And so I go back to work, we go back to work, and I look forward to that. I'm disappointed, but I'm looking forward to getting back to work and finding a way to be better ultimately, and that's my mindset. Always has been, whether it's at home or away. It doesn't change.
For the longest time around here, Boise State was, there were many deficits or large deficits or things like that. And you look over the last 2-3 years, there've been 6, 7, 8 of these games now where you guys have gone out and fallen behind by a couple of touchdowns, 3 touchdowns in the first half. I mean, any reason you can come up with, or thing you've seen to explain why some of these performances we just haven't seen in the past have kind of creeped in?
I don't really know the answer to that. I know this. I know that we get everybody's best game. Whatever the A game of every team, we get it. Now, that's no excuse. We have to have our A game. We expect to bring our A game every game as well. We don't plan to play a B game or a C game or go out there and just go through the motions. And that's the reality. Football is competitive. You see it across the board. Everybody, all the experts predict certain things, but they don't have all the facts. And the bottom line is, no matter who you play or we play, you can beat anybody on any given day. And why we fall behind? I think you can go statistically and look at that. It's probably by turnovers, really more than anything. But that's that competitiveness and guys going out there competing. Every single play, every quarter, the stuff we talked about already. And, we're playing good teams too. I think one thing, we can't not give credit to the teams that we play and how they prepare. And I think everybody wants to do that and just assume that they're not very good or they're not going to come out and do anything, whether they're playing on the blue at home at Boise State or whatever. They're good teams. And we're a good football team too. We just got to play more consistently. Okay, thanks.
Hey, just in case you haven't heard, we'll do the press conference on Monday.